From his Central Texas Command Center, deep behind enemy lines, the information war continues. It's Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is not just at Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. And we have her quotes, the white paper she's written. It's on CNN. It's on MSNBC. That's coming up before this broadcast ends in 52 minutes. Kagan, the new Supreme Court nominee, a minion of Larry Summers, a Goldman Sachs employee, the Harvard minion, is for banning free speech. The White House regulations czar Cass Sunstein, of course, wrote Harvard and Chicago Law School papers 2 years ago calling for arresting anyone who doesn't believe in man-made global warming, anthropogenic global warming. They have such giant definitions of what should be illegal. He said people that say sunlight is good for you, though most doctors say you need some of it, that will be banned because it's dangerous. The feds are going to tell you what you can feed your kids. The federal government's ordered the state of Texas to kick kids out and the second time arrest them if they have one Jolly Rancher in their lunchbox. I mean, just you can't draw an American flag. A girl got in trouble for that. Can't have American flag shirt. Their laptops are watching kids at home, government-issued laptops. And the court's saying you're allowed to take 56,000 photos of kids at home without them knowing. Kagan, disappear free speech if the government deems it offensive, if it hurts someone's feelings. Here's another one. Law would empower Hillary Clinton to revoke citizenship of whoever she deems to be a terrorist. No judge, no jury. And that, of course, here's Raw Story. The liberals even admit this. Kagan supported detaining terror suspects, including American citizens, indefinitely without trial. Paul Joseph Watson, dissenters to be detained as enemy belligerents. This bill's working its way through. Remember last week with McCain and Lieberman, the headlines, U.S. citizens to be stripped, no judge, no jury, the Pentagon just grabs you. We're going to be talking about this. We're going to be talking about states' rights, what's happening. But I mean, the fact that government is coming out in the open and behaving like this, I mean, people thought Bush was bad with the Patriot Act that Obama's expanded, or secret arrest and torture and illegal wars, and he was bad. He was a puppet. So was Obama. And the Republicans that come in will be just as bad or worse. It's just progression into tyranny. We're going to talk about this and so many other subjects. We've also gotten a new state of Texas census form that they're making kids fill out that is so intrusive, and the federal government's pushing this, training the kids to answer government questions. That's coming up in this hour. Michael Badnarik is an American software engineer, political figure, and former radio talk show host. He was Libertarian presidential nominee for president of the United States in 2004 and placed fourth in the nation behind independent Ralph Nader. 2 years later, he ran as a Libertarian Party candidate in 2006 congressional elections for Texas' 10th congressional district, got a lot of votes in Austin. And he is a great libertarian, a former Austinite, a fellow Texan, good friend of mine. He almost died of a heart attack. In fact, if memory serves, I believe he did die for a while and had to be resuscitated. And he joins us via video Skype from his home in Texas. It is good to have you here with us, Michael Badnarik.
Well, thank you so much, Alex. I was only dead for 10 minutes, so it really wasn't that big of a thing. I had too much liberty to help fight for, so I was just too stubborn to die.
How are you feeling?
I feel absolutely great. I went home for Mother's Day. Mom said that I've got my color back. I've gained weight. Mom was real happy with my my appearance and my health. I've been feeling great since I returned to Texas in early February.
Well, Michael, there's so much to talk about, so much to discuss. I want to get into the central banks, derivatives, the Federal Reserve, all those things that you've railed against. But first, this information with the new Supreme Court nominee, with public statements and white papers calling for the end of the Second Amendment, arrest whoever they want, legislation racing through to do it. I mean, this is Mao Zedong level.
It is terrifying. I travel a lot, and I don't have much time to watch television. I only found out that we had a new nominee for the Supreme Court when I was at the bus station waiting for the bus to arrive, and it's terrifying the way they are stacking the Supreme Court with people who don't recognize the difference between rights and privileges.
Well, I mean, as a constitutional scholar who packs hotel ballrooms with seminars on the Constitution, break down the constitutional violations when you have a government with legislation openly saying we can keep you safe, but we need to be able to secretly arrest citizens with no trial and strip them of their citizenship and give them enhanced interrogation, i.e. torture.
Well, the quickest way to do this is to ask why we have any government at all. Do we want complete lack of government, anarchy? Well, most people don't want that. So why would the Founding Fathers create any government at all? Well, to protect the life, liberty, and private property that we already had. Any government that's going to be legitimate is going to protect your property. Any government that is violating your life, liberty, or property is illegitimate. The purpose of the Constitution was to establish limitations on government power, and yeah, the government is bad, but the Americans who live here need to understand the difference between rights and privileges. They need to understand the Constitution. They need to understand that we are the source of all political power and that the government works for us. Anywhere I happen to be standing is a free speech zone. We don't have free speech zones in the United States. This is ridiculous. And any Supreme Court justice that is written to violate or limit your freedom of speech is certainly not a constitutionalist and should never be on the Supreme Court.
Michael Badnarik is also with us because it is going to be released and start shipping on the 17th. So coming up Monday, and we just got these in, Don't Tread on Me, Rise of the Republic, Michael Badnarik, Alex Jones, Evan Vieira, Cynthia Davis, Charles Key, and many, many others. And this film needed to be made. I'm glad that the makers of Camp FEMA and Washington You're Fired and Wall Street, Life on the Edge of a Bubble have made this documentary because it explains the difference between a republic and a democracy, states' rights, 9th and 10th Amendment, and has a blueprint to take our nation back. People need to see this because it's basically a Constitution class in and of itself in this 2-hour film. Michael, you're a big part of this. People can pre-order it. It's basically an order now because it'll be shipping out early next week to everyone. We have these here at Infowars.com, or folks can call toll-free 888-253-3139. I'm excited that so many great films are coming out to educate and inform because people are now ready to be awakened. We've just got to do the next step and get this into their hands. I hope folks will order this film. And we just lost the video Skype connection to him for a second. For Don't Tread on Me, Rise of the Republic, again, available at Infowars.com. And it's going to be shipping out next week. You can also call toll-free 888-253-3139. Michael Badnarik, talk about the difference between a republic and a democracy, 9th, 10th Amendment, and versus this federal government itself captured by foreign corporate interest.
The difference between a democracy and a republic. A democracy, everybody knows, majority wins. But what they leave out is that the minority loses. 51% of the people can vote away the property or the liberty of the 49%. I spoke at a college in Rhode Island. One girl asked me, "Don't you think guns are dangerous?" I said, "No, ma'am, I don't." She goes, "Well, couldn't we vote to take your guns away from you?" And I said, "Absolutely. You can vote that Michael is crazy and dangerous, and you can have a unanimous vote to take my guns away, but then you have to have another vote to see which one of you is going to take them. My rights are not predicated on your being comfortable with it." So in a democracy, you can vote on anything. You can vote to take somebody else's property away. You can vote to limit somebody else's freedom of speech. We live in a republic. I pledge allegiance to the flag and to the republic for which it stands. A republic is based on law. One person and the right of private property will supersede a unanimous vote. In a republic, the minority is protected from an overbearing majority. So the major difference for you to know is that in a democracy, you can vote on anything, and in a republic, there are many, many things that you're not allowed to vote on. Now, the 9th and 10th Amendments are very important. They actually work together. The 9th Amendment without repeating it, says that because we have a Bill of Rights, that's not a complete list. The Bill of Rights doesn't say anything about your right to have children, but you clearly have a right to have children. The Bill of Rights says nothing about your right to travel, but you have a right to travel. So the Ninth Amendment explicitly says that the Bill of Rights is not a comprehensive list. There are things that you can do by right which are not listed in the Bill of Rights. On the contrary, the 10th Amendment explicitly says that the government is not allowed to do things unless the Constitution explicitly allows it. We, the people, have rights. We give the government privileges, and those privileges for the government are listed in Article 1, Section 8.